Joplin's first bike park is open for business. I'm Lisa Allegas, and this is Newsmakers. In this edition, we look at the new Momentum Bike Park, how it was built, and find out what bikers and skateboarders think of the design. We begin our conversation with Parks and Recreation Director Paul Bloomberg. Welcome back, Paul. Good to have you in the studio again.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
So the bike park is open, seems to be getting lots of use. How do you feel about the community response so far?
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I mean, if you attended the grand opening we had for the community in November, it was raining, and we had hundreds of people show up for that. The ribbon cutting, it was amazing, and we're getting hundreds of people coming almost every day.
Wow,
it's
amazing.
So
let's talk about developing this, making this bike park happen. This is a giant site, 95 acres.
Right.
Explain to folks where it is. It's called Dora, but what does that mean?
Right.
You know, where is this location? I didn't even know we had all this property sitting there.
Sure. So Dora, you know, that stands for Dover Outdoor Recreation Area. That was the project name that we advertised it as and put it on the Parks and Stormwater Sales Tax Renewal. That used to be the old soccer fields that we had back in the day before we built the athletic complex. So it's off of Lone Elm, right before you hit Zora. So it's right north of town. So it's in that area.
It used to be kind of difficult to access.
Correct.
Has this development made it a little easier to get in and out?
Yeah, we did some road improvements, entrance improvements. We do have two different points that you can enjoy the park. One off of Zora, off the top of the Zora, and then the main entrance into the main part of the park is off of Lone Elm, and now it's called, I think we changed the name to Adventure Lane.
Adventure Lane, okay. Well, how did the 95 acres lend itself to offering a variety of activities? Because you even have like a mountain biking, which
correct.
You kind of had to create the mountain, but I mean, that's interesting.
Right. So the mountain biking, the land kind of lend itself to the mountain bike park. So obviously the elements down below on the south end were nice and flat for the amenities we have down there. But the north end, actually up by Zora, it's actually pretty hilly.
Okay.
So it kind of lends itself to mountain biking. 95 acres, and we don't utilize all 95 acres, but we do have 10 miles. I mean, the designer and engineers that we hired to do this park, their creativity and design aspects were incredible. We were able to get 10 miles of single track mountain bike trails.
Wow.
And I believe there's a beginner, intermediate, and advanced trails with like 26 different trails within that you can go in.
Amazing. Now, you invited the public to help name those trails.
Correct.
Did any of those suggestions stick? Give us some ideas, some of the names.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some clever ones. You know, and a lot of it's because we're regional. So we have like one trail's called Churt Happens, right? You know, Churt. We have another one called Missouri Mule,
Okay.
which it goes into mining aspect. We have another one called the Glade Runner, kind of. You know, so that plays off of Blade Runner. We have some other ones. Gosh, what are some other ones? I mean, a lot of them play Bonnie and Ride.
That's cute.
Right?
Yeah,
that's
Bonnie
another
Clyde
one.
had a history
But we
here.
have a lot that just play within our regional history, and so it was pretty cool. It was awesome doing a little competition to see what people could come up with.
Right.
So that was a good community engagement.
So there's things for elements for all ages. So let's talk about the variety of like ramps and courses for kids, because you know we don't want people to get hurt, but we also want people to enjoy it. So how does this meet what the community wants of having all ages?
Sure. So the mountain bike, you know, that's for all ages, obviously, and all skill levels. So that meets that. But we also have a children's bicycle park, and what we designed that one for is more for like to learn safety when riding. So you know, there's stop signs, there's how to park your bike, just so kids learn how to navigate roads and sidewalks, but we had the fun elements that kids can go through tunnels and bright colors. So that's really lends itself.
Is it a good place to teach a kid how to ride a bike?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's all asphalt, trails. So and if it's not asphalt, it's a multi-surface trail. So it's close to asphalt, but it's beautiful. And then we have our beginners skills track area, where these are actually wooden structures that you would ride your bike on, and they're not the big adult stuff that you're just not there yet, but you're learning to do curves and little jumps and stuff like that. So then we have another aspect. That's another aspect of the park. Probably what the biggest part of the park down below is our pump track. It's and I believe you have American Ramp coming in later at some time to talk to them. Velo Solutions pump track,
Okay.
Which is the top dog of pump tracks. It's an asphalt surface. Now, I used to ride BMX bikes when I was a kid, make your own ramps and stuff like this.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I mean, it has hills and valleys and swirls, and just to watch the kids do this, I mean, it's amazing. So you have that. That's all for all ages too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
It just depends on your skill level.
Correct.
Yeah.
It depends on what you can do. You have some people that will go out there. We have little kids that will just ride it, smoothly. But then you'll have some people that can go up there and actually do flips. Not me. But then you also have our other element is the jump lines. And that, I mean, again, little kids can go on that because there's areas that you don't have to do the big jumps. So that was incorporated. But you do have the big jumps where people can actually do some stunt stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this was funded in part by the hotel motel tax, along with parks and stormwater tax and tourism dollars of $1.5 million. What was the total cost, and how did tourism dollars expand the offerings? How,
Sure.
why did having that influx make a difference in how we planned this?
So I think the total price of the project came roughly just under $6.8 million for this bike park. Again, when we started this project, or when we got it, we went to the voters. This was in 2021. Prices and materials increased, so a lot of that just. The price of stuff just went up, but being able to add 10 miles of single track of mountain bikes, it was huge. That's a huge attractive part. The location is an attractive part because eventually we do have other park stormwater projects that will be able to connect the Momentum Bike Park all the way to Landreth Park.
Oh wow, like via trail.
Through a trail, underpass, Main Street,
Nice.
so you don't have to cross traffic. So you're basically going to attach North Joplin into the city of Joplin downtown. So it's going to be amazing. But yeah, I mean, restroom, just little stuff like restrooms and lighting and stuff like that we got to upgrade. We were able to do stuff like that.
You mentioned you're not using all 95 acres. What other kind of wish list things? What else could be done with the property that might be on the agenda for the future?
Yeah, so we don't really, we haven't got that far in the planning yet, but we do, there's, we're a little, I don't want to say overwhelmed with the response, but parking, I can tell you, we built a parking lot for 70 vehicles down below. That definitely will have to be one that we'll have to expand upon. We do want to add more lighting to the park down below. We know our pump track has lighting, our children's bike park has lighting, but it would be nice to have lighting on the jump lines and in the skills area, so that whole area down below is lit. But parking's going to be a big one. I know that's not exciting, but I mean, we're going to have to upgrade it.
It will make a difference on usage, though, the more people who can park. So you announced at the groundbreaking that you're planning a festival. Tell us about that, and they're even going to have like a big grand opening.
Correct.
So when is that?
Right. So our big, huge grand opening party launch event that we're going to have is going to be May 2nd.
Okay.
We're actually in the planning stages of that right now, where we have several partners that we're working with. That'll entail demonstrations with the professional bike riders will come in. We'll have music and vendors, food and non there. We'll have promotional items there to hand out and giveaways. But just to open up the park, we opened the park up to our community, in November, but we want to open it up to the whole region and say, hey, here we are. Come see us.
But as you said, some already know about it. Because we're getting people from other places. So, a couple more questions, though. There are rules for the bike park. So let's review some of those. I mean, this is bike at your own risk, right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
It's kind of like our skate park. This is an outdoor extreme sport, biking is. So it's, we can't... it's you're going to do things. You're going to be on outdoor surfaces. We can't control what happens when you're riding, right? We do go out there and work on our trails to make sure the trails are good. But, one of the biggest things that it's mandatory when you come out to the bike park, you have to wear a helmet. Number one priority is a helmet. We do have our park rangers will drive through and, we'll, make sure everybody's wearing their helmets and whatnot. And if you're not, you're at your own risk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a smart thing to do. But I mean, that's our number one. We also, you have to be courteous, especially to the young kids, because those are the ones that are learning how to ride their bikes, right? I mean, the older kids and the adults already know how to do it, but they just want a place to do it.
Yeah.
Give right away to the young kids. Be courteous. Please respect our trails. When it's muddy, raining, stay off our trails. We do have all natural trails that you could ride, and we definitely, if you go to our Facebook page, or there's an organic one out there as well, we'll let you know when you have to stay off our dirt trails.
Yeah.
But for the enjoyment of everybody, in our trails. So.
Sure. All these rules are posted on a website. So where's the best place for folks to find all the do's, don'ts, even a map of the park?
You go to our page is joplinmo.org, right? Our city website. Go to Parks and Recreation, and then you'll follow to Momentum Bike Park, and everything's right there.
Everything's there. All right. Learn the rules, learn the etiquette before you go. Thank you, Paul Bloomberg.
Yep. Thanks.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we learn about construction of the ramps at the park from the source, American Ramp Company, a Joplin-based business. Don't go away. Welcome back to Newsmakers. Momentum Bike Park is a first for the city, but the company behind the specialty ramps is already making a global impact while based in Joplin. It's American Ramp Company. Joining our conversation about Momentum Bike Park now is John Hunter, the president and CEO of American Ramp Company, and a Missouri Southern State University alum.
That's
Welcome,
right.
John.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So American Ramp Company seems to grow every year. So tell me, in about how many different states and how many different countries are you working?
So yeah, American Ramp Company now has been around for 27 years, and we've done projects in all 50 states, every Canadian province, including like Nunavut, the Yukon territories, and 46 countries.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that. It is quite a sport. Has trick biking being even like in the Olympics impacted your business, or was it the biking business that maybe got it into the Olympics?
Yeah, so, which came first? Obviously, cycling being in the Olympics, BMX is growing, and that's been in the Olympics. Mountain biking's in the Olympics. And the cool thing, as bike parks and infrastructure grows and the interest grows, even the interest for adding those other action sports elements to the Olympics increases. I mean, we saw that with skateboarding going to the Olympics is one of the more popular summer games thing. Snowboarding's a wildly popular winter games thing. So action sports have really started to carve out, their own identity in the Olympic arena.
Getting a little more respect as true sports. I mean, it does take quite a bit of athleticism to do some of these things. So let's talk about, we've gotten a look at some of the ramps. Paul Bloomberg talked about them at Momentum. Explain to us, when you create these, what factors make one more challenging than another when you have levels of skill?
Yeah. So our team, we design, engineer, plan, manufacture, install, do all the construction work on, and they're all different kinds of bike parks. The cool thing about Momentum Bike Park is it has a lot of different bike amenities in one facility. So there's a natural surface single track trail, which is what's been around for a long time. That's what people think. Oh, there's bike trails, and that exists. Northwest Arkansas has a lot of that. But one of the things that's unique at the Momentum Park is there's a hard surface asphalt pump track. There's a kids bicycle playground. There are hard surface jump lines, which means they're not natural surface. So even if it's rainy or it would otherwise be muddy, they can use that hard surface asphalt pump track or jump line, really in any condition.
So for those of us who aren't biking, what does a jump line mean?
Okay, yeah. So so a jump line is basically just a line of cycling infrastructure that has various ramps. And so, like at Momentum, and to answer your question, like whenever we're designing something, we're trying to build in opportunities for progression. So if you go there's a green line, which is the easy beginner line, and then there's a blue line, and then there's a black line. And so the entire park is also built that way. The trail network has same beginner, intermediate, and there's even an advanced feature with a flyover that's like expert only. And if you saw it, it's a pretty. I mean, if you drive by on Zora, you can look over and you'll see this giant ramp. That's the expert line. So
you don't want to go there if you're a newbie.
Yeah, but the cool thing is at that facility you can ride the beginner line until you've increased your skill and comfort level, and then you progress into an intermediate line, and then so on. So you can grow, you can build up to that advanced line.
What are some things riders should know to be safe on some of these surfaces? And is there a different approach to when a surface may be wet as opposed to not?
Yeah, so Joplin's becoming very much need a trail town now that we have this bike park and understanding etiquette. So the standard thing, I mean, there's great signage out there that talks about the rules of the park. It's a public facility, so it's ride at your own risk. You really need to be wearing a helmet, whatever safety gear. Make sure your bike's in good working order, and then really with any trail, especially one that you haven't ridden or park that you haven't ridden, the rules are to pre-ride, re-ride, and then free ride. So that just means ride it slow, understand what it is, and then ride it again, and then have a blast, right?
Yeah.
And so those are kind of the rules of biking, just from a safety and comfort level.
I mean, the trails almost sound like when you go skiing, snow skiing. You have the green, the blues, the black, like levels of danger and risk and moguls and stuff. When you say keep your bike in good condition, what kind of impact do these have on bicycles, and what is the best kind of bike to have at a bike park?
So the cool thing about this park, and like I said, it has a lot of different features, a lot of different amenities, from a kids bicycle playground all the way to downhill, advanced expert only lines. And so for the actual bike trails, a traditional mountain bike, whether it's hardtail or full suspension is ideal. You could ride that really on any part of the park, but if people are focused on the pump track, which is more of an isolated area that you pump around to generate speed, a BMX bike or a dirt jumper is more appropriate, and the jump line is kind of the same. So what's fun is once you really become an enthusiast, you might like, hey, I need an excuse to buy a couple different bikes, which my office is full of bikes, and that's one of the fun things, because the bikes kind of specialize. But again, you could show up with just a traditional mountain bike and be able to enjoy and ride the entire park.
Yeah. Is anything off limits? I mean, are skateboarders welcome, or are we, do we have different things for different folks?
Yeah, so one of the unique things about this park, and the fact that it has a hard surface asphalt pump track and the jump line, is really it can serve mountain boards, skateboards, scooters, like those work and are allowed on the pump track area because it is hard surface asphalt, and it's a lot of fun. So it does allow, you could come out, a kid with a Strider bike who's 2 or 3 years old, which is doesn't even have pedals on it, can use those things safely, and then a professional BMX rider can come out and ride that exact same facility. They're just going to ride it faster,
right?
And so it's going to make the experience more dynamic, and that's what's fun, is like progression's built into the entire thing. And it's really, no matter what your skill level or what kind of bike you ride, if you go out there, I mean, there's fun to be had. You've
got multiple surfaces, structures. Some elements are wood. What is the lifespan of the ramps, and do they need maintenance?
Yeah, so a lot of the natural surface trails and the skills course, most of those things are dirt, and they require regular maintenance just because of the elements. The features themselves are manufactured at our facility in Joplin. All the framework's steel. It's going to last decades, and then the decking is a full dimension cedar, which is naturally rot and insect resistant, and usually about 10 years, and you start changing out some some of that decking material, but it lasts a long time. It's for public use all the time, park infrastructure.
What guides you when you kind of create designs and to implement like things at Momentum, do you think, oh, let's make a special curve here? Can it be a creative process?
It's 100% a creative process. So one, you kind of get to work with the land and the layout. And if it's a trail, there's topography, and then there might be points of interest. Like in this particular park, there, in the trail network at Momentum, we have a lot of gravity. So we're able to basically, you can start at the top by Zora at that parking lot, and you don't have to pedal. You can just kind of cruise and fly down. It makes it really fun. If you want to get back, you have to pedal back up. So that allows for like a gravity-fed experience. And then down at the bottom, there's more of a cross-country experience. But what we try to do, any park that we're designing is provide unique elements that are maybe unique to that community, or just something that we have that's never been done before. We just built a park in Moreno Valley, California, and it was airplane was donated. We said,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
we want to make this we want to make this a really cool. It's by there's a flight museum that's close by, and we're like, hey, what do we do that's unique? And they let us put in an airplane that was donated right on the jump line. So when you're taking a picture of you in the air, you're right next to an airplane
That's awesome.
that's like in flight. And then we helped with the branding and the name, and it's called Flight Deck Bike Park. And so the same thing with Momentum Bike Park. Our team helped with the name, the branding, and what all that looks like, because that identity is really important.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to wear a hat or a T-shirt
You bet.
of their home bike park.
Well, everybody's excited about it. It's already drawing big crowds. So congratulations, and thank you for telling us all about it, John Hunter.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Time for another break. When we come back, we hear from those finding adventure at Momentum Bike Park. Welcome back to Newsmakers. We've heard a lot about Momentum Bike Park from its planners, but now we get feedback from those who are using it. Joining our conversation are cycling enthusiast Christina Williams, her son Grayson Wimsett, and Tom Walters. Welcome to Newsmakers. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This is exciting. Christina, I know you even actually spearheaded efforts to get kids riding bikes to school, and you're also involved in a mountain biking club. So talk to us about how Momentum can make a difference in keeping kids active.
Well, it's such a beautiful space for kids to be outdoors with their family. Joplin and the Southwest Missouri area does have a mountain bike team. It's part of the Missouri's National Interscholastic Cycling Association, or Missouri NICA. And Grayson is a team member, and I'm one of the coaches. So that serves ages 6 through 12. And so this park, this season, we'll actually get to train here for weekly practices, and we're really excited about that. It's going to be perfect for those athletes to develop their skills.
You bet. Well, so Grayson, have you tried the trails out there? What are they like?
They're very great trails. A lot of great work there. It may be small, but it definitely has everything Joplin needs to have a great bike park.
Yeah.
World-class pump track, amazing jump lines, spook light, ragtime, great trails.
Yeah. So you've experienced them all, or all of them? Have you tried all of them so far?
Yeah.
And what do you like about biking?
Well, it's just the freedom of the thing and the ability to just be out there instead of, there's really just nothing I'd rather do. And it's a great thing. It's really a wonderful activity.
Yeah, good exercise. So, Tom, you are a skateboarder. This park does accommodate skateboarding, right? Tell us about your experiences there.
Yeah, it definitely does accommodate skateboarding. It's been we've been out there since day one, trying out the pump track. I actually also bought 2 mountain bikes recently, so I've been out there riding all the trails as well. But yeah, all the skaters, I would say there's pretty much only the pump track is something they can use. If you were really, really advanced, you could probably do one of the jump lines, which I'm sure there's some skaters that have tried it or attempted it at least. But it's definitely cool to see everybody out there. I know there's been some scooter kids out there, some other things have been in use out there, probably even one wheels.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's cool to see everybody out there.
It is said to be suited for all ages. So are there things that older kids need to be mindful of with the littles? I mean, Is there some kind of etiquette that should be followed when you're out there riding the trails?
Yeah, as far as etiquette, especially on the pump track area and the jump lines, we do see a lot of kids out there and their parents are encouraging them to go ride these features, but the parents maybe don't understand that those are for a bit more advanced rider, and there is a designated area for younger riders to either be in the bicycle playground area for the very littles or the skills course where they can learn some skills and then advance on up to the pump track and jump lines. There are green areas which are for beginners at the jump line and pump track. So just be mindful of that, especially parents. Don't try to encourage your kid down a trail without reading the sign and see if your kiddo is prepared for that level.
I was gonna say I was excited that like how well that they did with having like stuff for novice riders and stuff for like big advanced riders. Like I think they did a really good job of making sure there's something for everyone to ride and not just like one specific group of people.
Is there a top rule that you guys feel like, hey, this really needs to be followed? What's important that you would want other riders to know?
Basically, just communicate with each other and be kind. Some people are totally new to this because now the Joplin has a bike park. It's a new thing. They want to check it out, but they're not used to this type of facility. So just be courteous. More advanced riders, offer assistance and guidance when you can. Communicate with each other if you need to pass someone, if you're approaching a rider ahead of you and you're going faster than them, make sure you signal that you're going to pass or that you need space to get around. So just communicate, be kind.
Yeah. So what difference do you see in kids after this kind of outdoor activity? I mean, Grayson, you said it's kind of a feeling of freedom. Do you feel like it's good exercise and is it good for you think?
Yeah, it's definitely great for you. It's great atmosphere of it. You get to be outside. And really, it does just work your whole body and just great exercise, yeah.
Yeah.
He's very grouchy if he hasn't ridden for a few days.
And you have other kids who ride too. So do you see it? I mean, do you see it being good for them?
Yes, very much so. I mean, I've led a bike bus to school at one of our local elementaries. This is our 5th year to do that. And those kids love to ride. They know they need it. They need that fresh air. It really helps prepare them for the day. So now they have this other place where they can go and ride after school, ride with friends, meet up with their family. It's important to have all those options for kids to ride.
And do you guys feel this is a much better option than kids riding around the neighborhoods?
Oh yeah.
When it comes to safety?
I would say it's
safety.
way safer. And it's good to see them get pushed out of their comfort zone because I feel like already just going up there, the times that I've been there already, like when it's busy and there's new kids, the kids are getting challenged by everything that's out there. So it's great to see them take on those challenges at the park.
Kind of empowering.
Yeah, for sure.
And one thing I love in the bicycle playground, there is a traffic garden, and so little kids can experience those features they might see out in the real world on the street, stop signs and things like that.
And it does have two-way lanes, so like you're supposed to stay on the right-hand side. So it's teaching them driving skills.
Driver ed, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
I thought that was really cool how they did incorporate that.
Well, great information. Thank you all for giving us your feedback. Grayson, Christina, Tom, thanks for being here.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thanks for having us.
That wraps up this edition of Newsmakers. Thanks to all our guests, and thank you for watching.